are evacuating their homes as strong southeasterly winds fan a fire which has been raging on the slopes of Table Mountain. Firefighters have worked through the night to battle the blaze, which has so far gutted a number of historic buildings. The city of Cape Town says over 150 firefighters, including fire vehicles, have been deployed. Our reporter Vanessa Poonah is there. Let's cross live to her now. Vanessa, we were watching the footage as you were giving the headline earlier. You're barely able to stand. Is that how strong the winds are?
Desiree, yes, good morning to you. And indeed, it's quite a sight to behold. It is very difficult to stand still and also to keep our cameras stable, Desiree, because these southeasterly winds are really battling the firefighters here at the moment as they struggle to contain this fire, which I understand at around 2 o'clock this morning, the wind changed direction and pushed the fire over the mountain away from UCT towards Vredehoek, and that's of course where we are at the moment. In the background a short while ago, the flames were coming up really high. I'll stand out of shot for a moment just to see whether we can actually see flames, but in the background there you'll see teams from working on fire, Desiree. They are at the moment battling that blaze, the fire having come up quite high here this morning. Now, I spoke to the City of Cape Town's Charlotte Powell a short while ago. We've also seen emergency crews going door to door in the area in various roads, asking people via the loudhailer to evacuate. And we've also spoken to some of the residents themselves as they were making their way out of their homes and also packing up as few belongings as possible. And they've been telling us that they are very grateful. One gentleman wasn't very happy with the service that they received, but most of the other residents we've spoken to have been grateful and said that they were advised as early as the early morning hours via a WhatsApp message, because they belong to a WhatsApp group. They've been told to start evacuating as a precaution. At this point in time, Desiree, the strong winds are indeed making things very hard for these firefighters, and we've seen crews from the City of Cape Town Fire Department working on fire, volunteer wildfire services, as well as police and other law enforcement officials are making their way throughout the Vredehoek area. Dyser Park, of course, those paper towers have also been evacuated as firefighters struggle to contain this fire, of course, here on the slopes of Table Mountain. We also understand that areas such as Warm Estate have now also been put on alert throughout the course of this morning as the monitoring of this fire continues here in Cape Town.
Vanessa, we were speaking to Dr. Suleiman earlier telling us about the food assistance that they're giving. But just looking at the footage that you just showed us now, it seems the firefighters are minuscule compared to the challenge. What type of firefighting support is coming through outside of government?
Desiree, I didn't hear your question very carefully. You asked what kind of firefighting is taking place. Well, I can tell you that at the moment where we stand, of course, it's very, very hot up there where the firefighters are standing at the moment, and we were battling to breathe as the wind blows that smoke and the heat down the fire, down the mountainside. But we've seen a number of vehicles, not just from working on fire, also the City of Cape Town's Fire Department, as well as firefighters on foot beating down as they struggle to contain this fire here in Cape Town.
Vanessa, I was asking you if there's additional support outside of government efforts for firefighting.
Desiree, at this point I'm not certain whether there are additional besides government. I know that early on we have seen teams from volunteer wildfire services as well as working on fire. Of course, they are always involved when there are big fires around in the mountainous areas as well as in residential areas. I also know that there are a number of, shall we say, neighborhood teams that are making sure that people get the message to evacuate. I see law enforcement and Metro Police also on the scene here, Desiree, and they are just ensuring at this point in time that there is no loss of life and that they do indeed limit the damage to properties and homes at this stage.
We're talking a lot about Vredehoek this morning. Do you have a sense of which other areas are on high alert this morning, Vanessa?
Yes, Desiree, we have been told that areas such as Warm Estate, that of course also practically on the lower slopes of Table Mountain, have residents there as well as in the District 6 area are also closely monitoring this fire because as we stand here, the wind conditions are really not conducive to fighting this fire. And you'll know from yesterday, of course, when the fire broke out just above Philip Hosana Drive, of course, the wind direction, if the wind changes, fires indeed can and have jumped. And of course, caution will be maintained throughout the course of this day to ensure that no other areas are affected. But of course, it all depends on how the firefighters manage. There are no helicopters in the air as yet. We understand that there will be a call made for an Oryx helicopter to be deployed yesterday. Of course, the wind's not as bad as today. There were 4 choppers in the air water bombing the area. I have not seen any choppers this morning yet. So we'll await a word from the authorities to inform us whether indeed these weather conditions are conducive for flying at this stage.
Vanessa, thank you so much for that update. Of course, we'll continue interacting with you throughout the course of the morning. Vanessa, there at Vredehoek, which apparently the winds have now moved that direction. Let's now